All right, everyone. Thanks for attending today's webinar on Sage e-commerce. We appreciate you taking time out of your day to be with us. Before I turn it over to Linda Bustos and Richard Johnson, who will be reviewing the product today, I would like everyone to know that the lines will be muted. So if you have any questions, please type them into the chat box, and we have time at the end of the webinar to answer them. We will also be recording today's webinar, and we will send it out to everyone afterwards. So thank you all, and thanks, Linda and Richard. Linda, I will now turn it over to you.
Thanks, Matt. I'm Linda Bustos. I'm the co-founder and managing partner of Adjacent E-commerce Advisors. My business partner and I have over 30 years combined experience in the e-commerce space, and we're partnered with XM to provide online strategy to ensure brands launch with the optimal user experience and from homepage through checkout. We also help companies sell direct and pick e-commerce technology that's best suited to their business requirements and channel strategies. So today we're going to talk about why B2B companies should be taking online commerce seriously. So in the US, manufacturers, wholesalers, and distributors are forecasted to transact over $1 billion by 2020, growing at a compound annual rate of 7.7% over the next 3 years. And if you include EDI in that number, it's actually in the trillions. So it's 12 trillion according to research firm Frost & Sullivan. But even if you exclude EDI, the B2B e-commerce space will account for 12% of all B2B sales. So when you think of your own industry, if you're not currently offering customers a way to transact with you online through e-commerce, then a larger than average proportion of your industry slice of the online transactions are going to go to your competitors. So this growth in B2B online commerce is driven largely by channel shifting behavior. So every B2B buyer is a B2C consumer in their off hours, and we've all become accustomed to the self-service, 24/7 access, instant gratification element of the internet, and online goods and services are literally just a click away. So the B2B buyer's demand is certainly being driven by being a B2C customer and the experiences that we've all come to grow accustomed to. And for B2B scenarios where a sales rep is consulted during early stages of the purchase decision, it's access to online information and catalogs, quote-to-cash tools, and payment options are a huge value add. Forrester Research reports that 74% of B2B buyers research half or more of their purchases online before buying, and 56% expect to make half or more of their purchases online this year by 2017. And while you may hear from existing customers who are happy to continue doing business offline or how you regularly do this through traditional sales channel, what you won't hear is from the many prospects who are pre-customers who are looking for an online catalog to research before contacting you, or looking around at your competitors and their e-commerce functionality, who actually never end up contacting you because an e-commerce ready competitor is just a click away. Forrester found that 49% of B2B buyers report intending to buy a certain product, but buying a competing product that was easier to purchase online. And 94% want to know where and how to make an immediate purchase. So if it's not glaringly obvious that you do support B2B commerce and transactional capability on your website, you could be losing them before they ever contact you. So what are some of the other reasons, like not customer-centric reasons, why B2B companies move online? Because there are a lot of internal reasons that e-commerce can make everyone's life easier. So companies are increasingly seeking to transact through the internet instead of relying on electronic data interchange. And especially now with the proliferation of computer in your pocket, always on the go, instant access, it's not just about online, in quotation marks. This is largely becoming a mobile use case. And another factor in businesses moving online is the increasing popularity and threat of supplier marketplaces like Alibaba, like Amazon supply, for example. You think about the domination of Amazon in the consumer space. They're definitely looking aggressively at B2B and bringing on wholesalers onto their platform. We also have, Asia, the Asia market, India market, becoming a lot more accessible and a lot more disruptive to domestic business. So these are real threats. Whether you're a large or small business, it matters for your survival in your marketplace. So if competing products, even if it's not your exact product, are available on these platforms, you should be prepared to fight back with a digital strategy of your own. Let's talk a little bit about the internal efficiencies of going online. So businesses are also looking to build out e-commerce capabilities to improve internal efficiency and, run everything smoother in-house. Offering online options to B2B buyers cuts operating costs for sure, and it reduces the time to contract in most cases. And for a lot of businesses, the cost of sales personnel is greater than the cost of systems maintenance, such as your monthly platform fees, the cost to get up and running, and those costs and investments are recouped relatively quickly through these internal savings. Sales reps themselves can also take advantage of online features and functionality to make their own daily tasks quicker. So they can spend more of their day building and maintaining customer relationships, the true value add of the human to human contact, keeping existing customers satisfied, traveling and otherwise representing your business at trade shows, etc. The areas where that human touch really adds value that a machine can't replace. But offsetting a portion of their own administrative tasks can also increase accuracy. So rather than taking customer information over the phone, which can result in keying entry errors or typos, your customers are providing their information to you directly through the web. They can quickly and easily access their account records without a phone call, access and update their profile information themselves, view and track their transaction history, etc. And though some folks might be believing that submitting financial information over the web has security risks, these risks are actually equal or greater when you're taking information over the phone or by fax or mail. So as long as you're properly communicating the security of your site and you strategically place these security assurances throughout your website, you'll be able to capture that segment of B2B buyers that prefer online business and who are very comfortable transacting online and understand, the security aspect of doing online business. And when it comes to personalized or customized pricing and contracts, using an online platform that can customize this information to the customer in real time and based on their own specs gives customers their information faster. It's no longer a manual process or something that a sales rep has to, go and check a bunch of things for. So there's no more manually pulling or sending over individual price lists or sending the wrong ones. The website can just take care of all of these nuances. There's definitely more benefits. So let's talk about cross-selling and upselling. So in addition to the internal efficiencies, e-commerce can actually increase your order size. So your product pages can instantly display associated products, which you can program yourself. The cross-sells that may be too complex or too difficult to describe and understand over the phone because you're not seeing a photograph, you're not seeing the context of the product and how it's associated. It's kind of hard to verbally talk through that, but we're all familiar with seeing product recommendations on e-commerce sites, and this flows really nicely to B2B context as well. So online, your customer can passively browse through your full catalog, can see all the pictures, they can read customer reviews, they can get detailed information which you have scripted to the T. You can base your merchandising team's experts to make these associations and to actually test them out, see which ones work and that they don't, and gather data around that. And you can also make recommendations based on purchase behavior. So for example, products that typically are frequently purchased together, or maybe you have a new product that has a strong affinity to another product and they might not be frequently purchased together yet, but by using creative bundling and merchandising, you'll be able to let your website kind of guide that decision-making process. And product reviews are really huge. I mean, it's a feature consumers have come to expect businesses to offer, and it really shows a lot of transparency as a company that can really build trust and confidence in purchase decisions that can increase your conversion rates. And with an e-commerce enabled site, you can also retarget your site visitors and your cart abandoners. So if you use the internet regularly, you've probably seen this. You've seen display ads following you around the sites that you previously visited, and they kind of start appearing on the news and the blogs and the social networks that you frequently visit afterwards. So for you as the brand, this opportunity really keeps your brand in mind and provides a single click back to your websites. Oftentimes, when folks are doing research, they're not necessarily looking at the business, they're looking at the products and then go abandon and check something else out. So this is really a way to keep inviting those folks back to your site. And then it also makes you appear bigger than you are as a company. It just makes you feel like you're everywhere and that you're a great company that someone should do business with. Having an e-commerce site also allows you to run top of funnel marketing at the product level through paid search ads. So you can capture new leads and customers who are actively searching for your product categories but might not be aware of your particular business. And then the online catalogs with buy buttons and checkout process can also help you move away from just putting up PDFs for your product information. Those are user unfriendly. They're very hard to view on mobile oftentimes. And of course, your mailers and catalogs that are very costly to produce and ship out, very heavy. Having an online catalog can help you acquire new customers without having to incur those types of costs. And there's also search engine benefits. So if you have a dedicated product page where the text is fully indexable and findable by search engines, you can rank higher than if you're just using PDFs. So let's talk about SaaS advantage. So SaaS stands for Software as a Service. And this is where your technology platform resides in the cloud and is delivered as a multi-tenant product. So in other words, all customers who are using the platform get access to the same set of features and functionality on a subscription basis. And there's more types of ways that you can buy e-commerce technology, but SaaS, because it's pre-built, it's kind of like ready-to-wear software. It's a lot faster to go live with a SaaS solution. So your time to market typically requires integration with your existing systems. But with SaaS, and especially SaaS that has been built specifically for the type of ERP that you're already using, really gets you from point A to B a lot faster, and you spend less on development resources and resources towards the platform itself. So ERP connections, in my experience, I've been in the e-commerce technology space for 10 years. The ERP connections are often the most complex for B2B companies. And that's where I've seen a lot of projects drag out and even fail. So that's one of the huge benefits of SaaS. And then another benefit of SaaS is that as the platform grows and expands and matures, you get access to those upgrades as soon as they happen without being charged extra for the development or for the upgrades. So it's just part of your subscription. So over time, your total cost of ownership can be much lower than if you go with a build solution, such as, there's some CMSs that you can build out like WordPress or Magento. That every site update carries a cost that your systems integrator or development partner will charge you for their professional fees. So those things can often really add up and be a lot more than the initial build over time. And when new features are released by the main platform, they don't just get pushed to you automatically. You do need to have these extra integration resources to make them work. So Forrester Research actually recently conducted an in-depth interviews with B2B companies currently running e-commerce platforms, and they uncovered that many sites were actually outgrowing their existing homegrown platforms that were no longer serving their needs. And one area where this really hits home is mobile experiences. So say a site that was built 7, 8, 9 years ago, is coming towards its end of its life, and it's not responsive, and it doesn't have the features that really cater to today's modern customer, omni-channel customer. And with a SaaS partner, these updates are just part of the deal. But now the downside of SaaS is that you can be limited by what a given platform has to offer. So if you need highly customized e-commerce experiences, you might have no other choice than to actually build your solution. But the good news is that for most manufacturers and wholesalers and even businesses selling direct to consumer as well as selling B2B, SaaS already offers what you need out of the box. Like e-commerce is very mature. It's been around for 20 years, and the essential features and functionality really are available out of most SaaS platforms. So we're talking about search, navigation, product pages, product recommendations, cross sells, customer reviews are important, bulk pricing, tiered pricing, your coupon codes, and your checkout process. So it's also worth noting that a lot of the commercial SaaS e-commerce platforms that are available today were built very B2C centric, and they're lacking some of the features and functionality that you're looking for in your B2B scenarios. So as a SaaS platform that's been built for B2B first and that plays nicely with all the business logic coming out of your ERP, it's really important to make that decision that's based on the stack that you're already running, the technology and the systems that you already have in your organization. And that's going to make your life a lot easier than one that wasn't built with this focus. All right, I'm going to turn over the presentation now. That's my part's over.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Linda. Can everybody hear me? Can you hear me, Linda?
Yeah, we
I
can
can
hear
hear
you,
you.
Rashara. Yeah, we just can't see your screen yet, Rashara.
Okay, good. Thanks. Thanks, Matt. Can you see it now?
Not
So you're
yet.
looking at Sage
There we go.
eCommerce.
Yep, we can see it now.
Let me, if I move the slide, then maybe you'll see the difference between mine and Linda's. Okay, thanks everybody for joining us today. I'm Rochelle Johnson from XM Developments. I'm the VP of Business Development, and I'm here to complement Linda's points that she's made about the key reasons why we're seeing growth in e-commerce and show you our Sage e-commerce solution. I'm not going to go through a product demonstration, and the reason for this is that I really like to customize the demos and make them a little bit more specific to a business user's requirements. So what I would invite you to do, and I will again at the end of this presentation, is to go through Matt and book a demo with us, and then we'll do a little bit of a preliminary conversation. So we like to do a bit of discovery and just find out what your key drivers are so that we make sure when we go through the content of the demo site. We also have X3 and 300, I should clarify. So there are two different demo environments that we work in. So depending upon your back-end system and also depending upon your key requirements, we can tailor a demo that's going to specifically meet your needs. So we can do that through Matt at any time. So for an introduction, XM Developments is a software development company focused on the development of e-commerce solutions for users of, as I mentioned, Sage 300 and X3. Over the past 10 years, XM Developments has implemented web-based solutions for a wide range of organizations. We work with small startups and multinational organizations, so small to large, lots of different companies that we're dealing with. We have a global team of more than 50 people, and we are growing rapidly. So we recently moved into a larger office space. We're headquartered in Burnaby, BC, and that's where I am today. And because of our growth, we've been adding to our executive team and our project management team. And for that reason, we needed to expand our office spaces. So I'm part of that expansion because I'm a fairly new addition to the XM team. I've been working with enterprise software solutions for more than 20 years, which is a very long time, but I've been on the back end side of things. So I've been in the ERP space, and for the last 5 years, I spent with another business partner, a Canadian-based business partner, working with Sage X3 and 300. So I understand the ERP systems extremely well. While I was working with this other partner, and I got involved in a number of e-commerce projects. So those e-commerce projects were part of the ERP initiatives. And the reason why I joined XM is because the projects that we were involved with X3 and with 300, had a front-end e-commerce solutions like Magento, Calio, Shopify, really great solutions, but not optimized for ERP. So lots of challenges there. And when I first got into these projects, I thought, well, how difficult can it be? It's a database. You just need to pull data from the database and show it on the web store. So pricing and customer information, I mean, it can't be that complicated. And I even was working with some third-party companies who built middleware pieces. So they had pre-built integration to these various other e-commerce storefronts. And I can tell you that we could never get it to work. So my sales teams and my implementation teams, they all learned the hard way that this was the type of project that requires a much larger investment in time and resources than anyone ever anticipated. So through that process, I started reaching out to my community and find, you know, how can we make this work? Because I certainly don't want to be delivering solutions that frustrate customers. And I got introduced to Jim McLean, who is XM's CEO. And when we started working the Sage backend solutions, we started using XM on the front end, I started seeing success in those projects. And that was the key reason. The growth in e-commerce is phenomenal. And in fact, in February, just last month, we had the record-breaking sales, so our biggest month ever in the history of the company. So there's a lot of growth happening. So that's enough about XM and me and my experience. I'll talk to you a little bit about Sage eCommerce. So what is Sage eCommerce? It's a fully integrated web store solution enabling real-time, two-way synchronization, which is really important, between the web and a back-office system running Sage X3 or 300. A Sage eCommerce web store is aware of how a business has set up Sage and therefore can accurately display information such as customer-specific pricing, real-time inventory, real-time sales order status, and real-time account history. These are all the challenges that we had in trying to integrate non-integrated front ends to the back-end systems. Sage eCommerce is particularly beneficial for distribution companies that want to provide their sales teams with detailed real-time information about their customer sales order activity, transaction details, and the ability to place orders in the field that flow into Sage in real time. So when you do place an order on the storefront, through the Sage eCommerce, all of that information flows into your back-end system. Customers can create records. Any orders that are placed are put into a queue just for a matter of seconds, and as long as there is a connection available to the Sage system, that flows right into the Sage system. On the front end, you'll also be able to see orders that were placed into Sage through other methods. So why specifically Sage eCommerce? Well, we've done a tremendous amount of investment in the Sage platform. So we have experts on staff that understand the Sage 300 database and X3 database, and we've built these solutions specifically for these two applications. We're also working on a Sage 100 solution, but today we've got 300. We started with Sage 300, and then we built out the Sage X3 front end. So we've got the ability to mimic core Sage functions, including the pricing engine, with changes made in Sage synchronized in real time. I've already talked about that, but we replicate the Sage pricing logic in the web store. That's a tricky bit. So this took us, you know, we've invested millions of dollars in this pricing logic replication. So this is why we have companies coming to us who have tried for 2 years plus to implement a web storefront that's integrated to their backend, and they've been unsuccessful. So this is where we really shine. The pre-built integration allows our stores to be created quickly and greatly reduces the cost and complexity of creating a web store. You've already built this content in Sage, so why would you build it again? Let's just use the content that you put time into in your ERP system. So we use that content to populate the most important areas of the online catalog, price and products, and it's all customer-specific content, which really is critical. So you want to give your customers that personalized view of information. And as a cloud service, Sage eCommerce is significantly less expensive to manage. So Linda spoke a little bit about some of the advantages of cloud. This reduces your spend on technology infrastructure, so you don't need to invest in all of the systems to keep your website up and running and all of the resources to ensure that you're up and running on a regular 24/7. So all of these features lead to a rapid return on investment for our customers. As a company, we've got a wide range of customers. Our customers range in size from 200,000 to 100 million US dollars in sales online. It's a pretty wide range of transactions going through our systems every day in online sales. The average customer has 15,000 individual product SKUs, and our largest customer, they're based in the UK, they've got 250,000 products online, so it's 250,000 in their product catalog that they're selling online. We have a cross-industry experience that includes retail, medical supplies, process and discrete manufacturing, of course, apparel, and automotive. And a majority of our customers are B2B, so those complex pricing requirements when it comes to different discounting strategies and tiered pricing and everything that is the reason why you needed to move to an ERP system to maintain all of those, the pricing logic, that's where we bring a lot of benefit. So some quotes from our customers. I'll talk a little bit about Maddie's Pet Foods and Batteries Expert. But Maddie's Pet Foods, in addition to Dale, the VP of Sales, getting accolades from his customers about it being the best online ordering solution that they've used, because his customers are pet stores. So these guys distribute. Maddie's is a Langley, BC-based company, and they distribute across Canada and the US to pet food stores. So it's pet food and supplies. The owner and president of Maddie's Pet Foods is Dave Prevost, and I've got a little video clip that I'm not going to show you because there's too much mucking about in the webinar, but I can certainly send out a link to anybody who's interested. It's about a 6-minute clip. Matt also has that link on his website. So Dave will talk about what the web storefront has given him is the ability to sell advertising space. So if you go to Maddie's website, you will see branding in the background, and that branding he sells. So all of his the products that he distributes, they can buy advertising space, and he's actually got revenue being generated off of the site. So it more than pays for the costs of the monthly costs of hosting the site. Batteries Expert has used our tool to build a product finder. So on the Batteries Experts, store, they've taken our tools, and a majority of our customers, I should mention as well, will build out content themselves. So our goal is to get you up and running, and to do that as quickly as possible, leveraging the Sage content in the site, confirming that all the pricing logic is working, and that all the price books make sense, and then get you up and running quickly, and handing over the tools, and I'll talk about those tools in a minute, to allow you to manage the content yourself. And some of our customers have done some really impressive things with this. So Batteries Experts has built, they've used filters that we have on the site and to build out a product finder. So they sell batteries for all different kinds of devices, cars, boats, and if you go to their site, you can limit the search selection by the attributes of whether or not it's a car or a boat or a cell phone that you're searching for content for, and then right down to the brand level, and then it will display batteries that are only applicable to those specific users or what the customer is looking for. This has reduced returns to Batteries Expert by 18%. So it's a pretty big savings in terms of cost when you think about doing returns for any of the products that are sold. So Sage eCommerce includes full-featured B2B and B2C. A majority of our customers, as I mentioned, are B2B, but the shopping carts contain all of the content that you would expect and that you need in order to be successful with e-commerce. We also include a customer portal and a sales rep portal, and so that's all in a single system. The customer account portal, you can see a little screenshot there in the background. It's not a great shot, but our customer self-service portal has capabilities that can be enabled on a per user or a group level. So this gives you a lot of manageability within the system. So it's a 24/7 self-service tool. It gives your customers the ability, or your sales reps, the ability to assist customers with sales orders, check on shipment status, so they can track status of all sales orders and shipment activity in real time. If they can get to any device that allows them access to the internet, they can get access to their account portal. And these orders that they're seeing are not just, or shipments, are not just web only. So because of the integration to the Sage back end, anything that's in Sage, they will have access to. Transaction history, so real-time account details for Sage AR, customer activity. You have the option to activate pay open invoices online via a credit card, so you're empowering your customers to get their invoices dealt with quicker. And then the paid and unpaid invoices give line item details, so you can drill down into that invoice content and see the line item detail, and then again pay those invoices online with a credit card. So it just allows you to free up a lot more quickly, get access to cash. And as I mentioned, all of these tools are really useful for both your sales reps and for the account customers. So sales reps can have access to customers within their territory. Specific customers, there are a number of ways that you can assign groups and categories for permissions to view. They can also assume a customer's identity, so they can log in as a customer if you allow them that access, and they can assist a customer with an order. We have clients that use Sage eCommerce for remote sales. So if you think about on a trade show floor, or if you're in a customer's office, so you can go online and utilize the quick order entry tool to place orders. The sites are all responsive, so depending upon what type of device, you can scale down to an iPhone or a smaller device, tablets. Responsive web design is a key tenet of our architecture, and it was a little bit challenging to build. It took us a couple of years to build it out, but it certainly is critical in today's e-commerce world that you've got responsive design. So again, responsive design means that the screen itself shows content that is usable for the size of the screen that you're viewing it from. We've also got customers using this as a simple point of sale system. So in a physical storefront, if you've got a low volume of traffic coming through, one of the things you can do is you can put a barcode scanner sled, attach it to an iPhone device, and you can scan inventory that way. So pick up products for sale. You'll get pricing specific to a customer, or it can just be general pricing if it's a walk-in. Also supports a credit card swipe, so you can have that as part of the process, so you can take transactions right there, take payment, excuse me. And in the first half of 2017, we're going to have a native iPhone sales app, so that you can use this in a disconnected from the internet mode. So if you are on a trade show floor, often you'll find that it's not easy, excuse me, to get a signal, and sometimes you need to place orders offline, and then as soon as that connection is there, you'll see the orders will be placed. Sage eCommerce includes many features to enable a business to cross-sell products, things like featured items, people who bought this item also bought related items, banners, sale items. So great ways to market your products to your customers. We include a flexible configurator that allows a buyer to create a list of items, grouped together to form a configured order or kit. So if you've got items that are required, if you purchase this, you need this, or if there are a group of items that, let's say, you want to build a bike, if you're a bike store and you've got the ability to configure items. Years ago, I bought a Mini online through the Build a Mini website store and or web storefront for Mini Cooper. So I went on and I picked all of the configuration options for the color, different options like a sports package. I picked a convertible. I had lots of options that I could choose, and so these are the types of uses that our configurator can be used for. Item variants can be displayed in a matrix. So for fashion, we've got size, color, fit, and customers can select from the matrix the items that the options that they want for their orders. We've got a parts finder. I already talked a little bit about how Batteries Plus has used that parts finder to help customers find items based on their make, model, or other attributes. There's filters to help make searching faster. So we can assign attributes to the item and reduce the content that's applicable for the search. We've got full integrated payments, so you can have on account or through credit card. We use Sage Payment Solutions, so Sage Exchange and Sage Pay are all supported in the system. We've got Sage Sales Tax integration, so AvaTax, if anybody out there is using AvaTax, that's fully supported. And we also do PayPal and Express Checkout. We've developed our solution with mobile in mind. So I talked about how important responsive web design is, or responsive sites. This is a key tenet, as I mentioned, of our application. So with mobile in mind, we're providing responsive design websites that adjust to the device a user's browsing from. So why is that important? Well, Google made it very important. And search engine optimization, SEO, is so much easier to say, but if we use too many acronyms, sometimes people don't know what we're talking about. So SEO, I'm sure everybody's familiar with that term, is critical because of Google search. So in 2014, Google introduced mobile-friendly tags in its search results to make it easier for mobile searchers to find mobile-optimized content, stressing the importance of mobile-friendly design. Right? If you're not mobile friendly, Google is not going to rank you high and people won't find you. In 2015, Google announced that they would be expanding their use of mobile friendliness as a ranking signal. This change affected mobile searches globally and had a significant impact on search results. And as more people continue to use mobile devices to conduct searches, and we know that they do, people are searching for content in a B2B world from their phone while they're sitting at their son's soccer game. This is what we're seeing. The trends are there. So as people continue to use mobile devices, Google wants to make these results more useful to mobile users. So they're really going to focus on mobile users' searches. Google will rank sites even when searches are conducted on a desktop. So they'll take the mobile user search over for rankings. So how do you manage your system? Well, we've built a powerful and easy-to-use content management system. So the content management system is what empowers our customers to manage their own sites. The content in our content management system can be edited using CK Editor, which is a really popular editing tool. It looks kind of similar to WordPress. I get that a lot when people look at our CMS content management system. You can use HTML or WYSIWYG, so what you see is what you get. So you can just type out and have the content appear without having to know any programming language. You can also use pure HTML code editor as opposed to using the CK editor. So lots of options in turn, and those will be driven by the sophistication of your web design team, or if you don't have one, then our web design team, enabling your team to understand how to use these tools simply. So when you're constructing the pages, a site administrator can drag and drop, so this content moves around the page, so up and down and side to side. It's a grid format, very, very easy to use. You can also build out any custom content that you want, because we've got cascading style sheets. So a lot of our customers will build their own custom content. Once their sites are up, they make their sites a little more sophisticated. They continue to keep them fresh, and they build out the content themselves. Another really important feature is the ability to find content on a site. So there's nothing more frustrating than going to a site, and I actually saw a site yesterday where there was no search bar, which just shocked me. I don't know how you can have a site without a search bar. Again, this is sort of a Google-driven behavior that we have. So when you go to the web, what do? You're looking for content, and we're used to pretty sophisticated search tools as consumers. We bring those experiences into our B2B world, so we expect the same or similar when we come into a B2B e-commerce store. So we've got on-site search capabilities that are powered by the leading open source search technology. It's Elasticsearch. What Elasticsearch does is it builds an index-based search. So many search engines will use a machine, a SQL database machine search, and we'll turn up no results often. What the Elasticsearch does is it builds indexes like in a library. So it knows where to get content from the site, so it returns results very, very quickly. It also gives you the ability to handle things like misspelt words. So if somebody types a word incorrectly, they're not spelling it right, it'll make search suggestions, much like Google does. It also gives the ability to build in language dictionaries, so there's some options there, and it's a very intelligent search tool. Another partner that we have that gives us a huge advantage is the fact that, we talked about cloud service and that we're hosted. So Sage eCommerce is a cloud service utilizing the power of Amazon Web Services. Updates are automatically applied so customers can have access to the latest features as they are released, and this approach enables users to update Sage eCommerce to take advantage of new features and/or improvements at their leisure. So when they would like to, they can apply them. The architecture is robust, reliable, and secure. Amazon Web Services is one of the largest enterprise hosting facilities, and of course it's globally diverse, so it's a clustered design. You're utilizing the Amazon Web Services architecture within the Amazon EC2 cloud. So it's load balance, mirrored front-end web servers, you've got dedicated content servers, so images, which can be really stressful, and to power up machines to deliver those images quickly on your storefront. It can be quite expensive, but with Amazon Web Services, the dedicated content servers serve up these images to the web pages really quickly, fast, and there's dedicated database servers. You've also got clustered monitoring, so 24/7, so fail-safe, backup, auto code updates in the background to apply fixes and updates, and of course there's that site performance monitoring. So the goal is to enable less than a 2.5 second page load time so that customers have a really good experience and they move to their shopping cart very quickly. So statistically, so some of the return on investment stats that we've gathered from our customers, they're fairly impressive, and they speak directly to the bottom line. So increasing sales decreasing costs. We do see a large increase in online orders and over traditional methods of placing orders. And you know, I already talked a little bit about my experience on the Mini website years ago, where I went and built my own Mini. Interestingly enough, that experience started in a Mini store. So I walked into the dealer, and I walked through the dealership, and of course the sales rep comes over and starts trying to sell me a bunch of add-ons. And I walked in there determined that I was just going to buy the base model. And what ended up happening was I walked out of there having not bought that base model because I was a little bit turned off at all of the upsell. So all of a sudden I'm looking at you know, a much more expensive Mini than I had anticipated, and I knew that that sales rep was going to cash in their pocket for every upsell that he did. So it turned me off. And about a month later, you know, I still really wanted that car. So I went out and took a look at the website, and I saw this build your own Mini configurator. And I built my own Mini, and don't you know, I added on more than the sales rep actually had been guiding me on the sales floor. And the reason for that, I believe, the psychology behind it is that we're very resistant these days as consumers to being sold things. We know that somebody who is being paid to, and this is a bit scary for me because I'm a business development professional, so it gets a little bit nerve-wracking when you realize that people are resistant to sales pitches. You want to empower your to make their own choices, and when you do, when you give them the opportunity to do their own research and make their own decisions about the orders that they're placing, you'll see what Maddie's Pet Store saw, that there is a 35% increase of orders placed online. So that's over other traditional sales channels. So that's pretty exciting. It gives you the opportunity to really grow your sales. So in summary, Sage eCommerce provides robust tools specifically designed to maximize online sales and reduce costs associated with processing sales. The two-way integration with your back-end system with Sage in the cloud delivery is going to mean lower overall costs of management in a highly secure, reliable system. It also means that you're going to be faster to get that site up. So we strive to have our customers up and running as quickly as possible to get the value out of the system. We can actually spin off a web store in about just a few hours. The work comes into the design, making sure the colors are right, making sure the images are there, and all of that. So, so it's fast and reliable and relatively cost-effective. So with that, I'm going to open up for questions. And I want to encourage everybody to book a product demonstration. So we're happy to do some dedicated time on either Sage 300 or Sage X3 with the Sage eCommerce solution that's appropriate for the back-end system, and really focus in on showing you content that's specific to your needs. So we can do that through Matt. But Matt, if you want to, I don't know if there's any questions that might have come through during the presentation.
Yeah.
I wouldn't encourage anybody to type questions in, but we can open up to questions at this point.
Yeah, Richard, we have a couple questions here at the moment. So approximately, the first one is approximately how long does it take to get up and running with an online store within Sage eCommerce?
I think I may have already spoken to that a little bit. So as I mentioned, we can spin off these stores fairly quickly. So because of the pre-built integration, we can be talking to the Sage backend and have a storefront up and running on one of our pre-built templates. So we've got a variety of templates that we work with. We've got 7 or 8 templates, and they're all built on their familiar look and feel. So they're built on a lot of Magento type of templates. So because of that pre-built content, we can actually get a site up, have a site ready within a couple of hours. The work that goes in, typically it takes approximately 3 months, and that's back and forth between our customers and our project managers in terms of making sure that the images are correct, so we can display up to 12 images per item. You don't necessarily want to have 12 for every item, but so having those images included with the product catalog and just confirming that all of the pricing information is displaying the way that we expect it to. So that really has to do with the setup in Sage. Typically, customers that are existing 300 or X3 customers, we can get things done more quickly because their pricing logic is already proven out. We run into longer time frames when the pricing logic is still being set up. In X3 in particular, it's a little bit more complicated than 300, and so we sometimes run into some time delays with that type of setup. But our goal is to get the projects done in under 3 months. So I think that addresses that question. Is there anything else there, Matt?
Yeah.
Have I lost you? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. So another question is, how many stores can you have based on one backend? Is there a limit of domains?
Oh, that's a very good question. No, right now the largest implementation that we have is 6 sites. So, and that's all running off of the single X3 backend.
Okay, cool. And can customers...
And I don't know if it was clear, sorry, I'm just going to just expand on that a little bit, that we do a combination of B2B and B2C. So again, off of that single backend, you can have 2 different storefronts, and it would be based on login that the user would get the content that is applicable for them. So whether that's a B2B known customer or a new B2B customer or a consumer. So we've got, you can have both of those storefronts off of a single backend system as well.
Okay.
Sorry, there was another question, Matt. It just occurred to me that maybe we could expand on that a little bit.
Sure. And last one is, can customer records be created on the web store, or do our distributors need to set up an account before they buy online?
Customer records can be created on the web store, yes. So that's one of the great advantages also of having the e-commerce store, is it alleviates some of the costs involved in setting these customers up. So customer records can be created through the web store, and then through the integration and the bidirectional flow of data into the back-end system, you will see in the system that that this record has been created on the web, but all of the other data, so that's just the customer record, will reflect a web, and that's just so you can identify the volume of records that are being created online. So it allows you to do some data analysis, but all of the information that's captured and displayed is identical. When you're looking at the Sage system, you'll see the records are identical. Does that answer that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I think looks like we don't have any more questions. So I think I guess we can wrap it up. So, so thank you to everyone who attended our webinar today. As mentioned earlier, we will be sending the recording out to everyone afterwards. If you have any further questions, please send them to myself, Matt Walter, and my email is mwalter@mantralogics.com, which I will also put in the email with the recording. So yeah, thanks again, and I hope everyone has a great rest of your day.
Yeah, and Matt, I want to thank Mantralogics for being a great partner and giving us the opportunity to share this information with your base. So,
all right.
Look forward to yeah. Thanks very much, and thank you, Linda.
Yes, thank you, Linda. Well, all right, everyone. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.